What is it about Manhattan that attracts me to her? Is it the way she doesn't mind me calling her home? The way she is quick to give me direction, to give me guidance and grace, but also courage. The courage to be my own person while cherishing the help that I receive from strangers on street corners. The humility to embrace an unfamiliar face and smile at those who may be less fortunate. The confidence to mingle with you musicians you've never met prior to meandering about the maze that is a metropolitan masterpiece. Or could it simply be her towering gaze, her seductive frame, how she calls me out at night to play, amongst all the misfits, misunderstood, and misrepresented artists of today, how she shouts my name while waiting for me to catch the train, or lights up the block so I don't feel so afraid of being alone in the city full of opportunity, bombarded by beggars and broken dreams, fame and get-rich-quick schemes, a jungle made out of concrete but built atop the backs of the fragile and the meek, the ones willing to do the dirty work so you can keep your hands clean, the same ones strong enough to admit that they're weak, pour their hearts out on stages like these, where we are embraced by Boston Library and GBH families. From Washington Heights to Houston Street, up in the lower west to east and everything in between is what I breathe. Because while I am bred from the beaches of Charlestown, it is the beauty of Broadway that brings me barreling back into the arms of such an industrious island, where palm trees are made from skyscrapers, sand out of sheets of snow, and country grammar is replaced with non-rotic narratives about your mother, Manhattan. Thank you very much, GBH. I'm also coming from New York, so I had to start out with a piece about Manhattan. Can y'all please give it up for JRose one more time? She single-handedly put me on and a lot of the poets in New York, so I got mad love for her as a friend and as a poet. So to go after her is an immense honor. So I got a couple more for you guys. Well, I like to start out on a lighter note. Part of the reason I think as artists get into sharing ourselves because we have something inside that we got to get out and we hope resonates with other people. Is there anybody in here that deals with or knows people dealing with depression or anxiety? Quite a few of us. It's not exactly something I'm like, hooray about, but you're familiar with it. So this piece is called Overloaded. I tried to be tied down, but couldn't quite figure out what I really wanted out of life, so I shut down. Abandoned everybody who trusted me and tried to love me, because I couldn't bear the thought of them knowing that I was struggling. Mentally, financially, and everything else in between. As pride got the best of me, tempted me, and then tested me by asking my ego what kind of evil makes her less of me, then using that knowledge with full intention to make a mess of me. Embarrassing to say the least, having to cope with everything, on your own inside your dome, feeling like you're so alone, but never want to rock the boat, so you do your best to hold it all together till one day you explode. From emotion overload and airing out your whole soul, bearing down to the bone where you're finally exposed to be the human that you've been pursuing all along, as you hid behind a monster just so he could write some songs, turning rights into wrongs and replacing your thoughts with a little idea that you don't belong. Like, what's the point of living when you've already given up on everybody in your life that you ever claimed to love? Well, I'll tell you what the point is. No more avoidance. Time to stand up and speak out for the voiceless, for those who feel joyless, for those who feel poisoned, for those who feel like they're trapped and have no other choices but to work and fade away, fake a smile and behave, while the money that you make goes to someone else's bank so they can live happy lives off your efforts and your time till you're no longer needed. Then they simply cut your ties. Like a puppet, they say fudge it, use you, and then kick your bucket as they throw you out with the bathwater like you're nothing but the bottom of a barrel. So you go and grab a barrel, making sure to grip it tight as the muzzle meets your temple, because they got you going mental, thinking that you're worthless, hoping that the metal is going to solve all your burdens when all it's going to do is leave your loved ones hurting. So I'm here to beg you to stay determined, to live a better life, to ignore all the lies, to put down the bottle, step away from the knife, to look deep inside and try to realize that each and every single one of us deserves to survive. Thank you very much. It's not always easy to do that one. But yeah, that piece is called Overloaded. which you can actually find several of these in my book, Growth. And Amanda, this is actually your copy, signed for you. So, oh yeah, there you go. So, while I think all of us are familiar with love, I haven't always been the best partner. So this next piece is called Morning Coffee. And I don't even drink coffee, by the way. I wish I was your morning coffee, like when you woke up and thought of me. When I wasn't there, say you sent a text, saying good morning, wishing me the best. Day ahead of me and what that meant to me, with no idea because I pretend to be. Better than that, when the real fact of the matter is that it was all an act, to cover up how I was falling for you and not seem eager in my pursuit. When that was a lie, because deep inside, I loved you from the moment we locked eyes, even though I was scared to admit it, because all my problems with commitment had raced to the surface like I'm just a burden. Any excuse not to call you my person, my human, my love, angel from above, the only woman willing to put up with all of my nonsense and crazy subconscious, where all of my demons like to start drama. But that didn't stop you from loving me. Even said it first, but never pressured me. Because you felt it in your heart, the one I broke apart, the one you gave me and I tore it into shards. Unaware how fragile that you are, because you're so dang good at hiding scars. When all you had to do was lean into me. Like the times I held you in the back seat, where we got lost staring at stars through the window in the roof of your car. Without a care, because we had each other. But who would have thought I'd make you feel smothered and suffocated to the point you hated me trying to ask how your day went? Like, how did it go from the simple questions to being so complicated? When all I want to do is come back to you, hold you in my arms like my little spoon after long days of cooking in the stew and laying all this out in the booth. So tell me what to do. Tell me how to fix it, how to function again when I'm missing everything we were and the difference you made on my life in the instance that you entered it like a treasure in a haystack I found within. Your smile and laugh, arts that you craft, all the happy memories we have, which is why I have to get you back, no matter the circumstance. Because even through all the muck and havoc, I know there's still magic between the two of us, despite your lack of trust in me, which is why I solemnly swear to be everything you love again, like your morning coffee. Thank you, guys. Thank you, GBH. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, everybody here. So for my last piece, I need a little bit of crowd participation. When I say she, I need you all to say keeps me company. She. Keeps me company. She. Keeps me company. Awesome. We're going to do that for the first 4 lines and the very last line of the poem. In a world fairly foreign to me but familiar to so many of its local inhabitants, she. In a world which desires to easily discard me like one of its furry little 4-legged subway ferrets, she. In a world where we are both striving to be the best versions of ourselves despite all the trauma we have managed to endure over our individual lifetimes, she. Even in a world where the men before me possess many of the same characteristics as my former selves, she still. So it is without a doubt that she chooses to spare her time, share her space, and befriend a stranger just so I no longer feel insignificant in this world. Thus one can't help but ponder, what more do I do with such kindness? Do I proceed to embrace it and embark on establishing an electrifying connection? Do I lean into the powers of procreation and pursue her as passionately as I do my own poetry? Or do I merely admire her from afar in a futile attempt to protect our hearts from the soul-wrenching agony of shattering once again? To which my conscience simply replies all, I do not know. However, what I do know is this. I am thankful. I am thankful for her light, her love, and the illustrious energy she emits anytime she enters the room. I am thankful for her compassion, her candor, and the quality of love and the quality of life she is so carefully crafting for herself at this very moment. I am thankful for the peace she brings me, the pride she possesses, and the presence in which we find ourselves just moments prior to parting ways. But with all these over-elaborate adjectives and conditional statements aside, let me remind you that I am just thankful. So as the rest of these words on this page near their end, much like the few nights we've shared together. It is with a gentle caress of her hand across my beard that she keeps my cheek warm. That is to say, she. Thank you very much, GBH. My name is Christian Morant. Again, my book is called Growth. If you are so inclined to follow me, it's I Am Curls with 3 R's on Instagram and all that stuff. I do graphic design and poetry. Thank you, guys.